Most people won't hear this. Even fewer will act on it. They'll watch, they'll nod, they'll agree, and they'll stay exactly where they are. Why? Because truth is violent. It disrupts comfort. It makes cowards uncomfortable. The truth doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care what you went through. It doesn't care about your past. It only asks one thing. What are you doing right now? Not what you planned, not what you hoped, not what you intended. What are you actually doing right now about the life you say you want? You've been warned. But warnings don't change people. Pain does. Consequences do. So here's the reality no one wants to say out loud. If you don't change, if you keep operating like the 99%, you will die with regret. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but eventually you'll feel it. That ache inside, that quiet voice that says, you could have done more. And by then, it'll be too late to rewrite the story. You either wake up now or you sleepwalk into a future you hate. So ask yourself, are you the exception or just another excuse? Because 99% will hear this and go back to living soft, living distracted, living blind. Don't be one of them. Every morning, before the world even touches you, you're already under attack. Not by your boss, not by your circumstances, by you. You wake up with an enemy inside, a quiet whisper saying, stay in bed, skip today. You've done enough. It's subtle, but lethal. And if you don't kill that voice by 6 a.m., it'll run your entire life by noon. The war is internal. No one sees it. No one claps when you win it. But if you lose it, everyone feels the consequences. Because when you lose that war, you shrink, you hide, you betray the future version of you. And that betrayal compounds. You skip one workout, one call, one step, and it doesn't seem like much. But that's how weakness works. It enters through the cracks. It doesn't announce itself. It whispers, it negotiates, it waits for you to be tired, distracted, emotional, and that's when it strikes. You think it's harmless, until you look back after 6 months and realize you've become someone you don't respect. That's the cost of losing the internal war. That's what happens when you don't stand guard at the gate of your mind. You were not born to be soft. You were not born to react. You were not born to obey every impulse that shows up. You were built to command, to dominate, to rule over yourself before the world even sees you. But most people, they're emotional toddlers in adult bodies. One mood swing and they abandon every standard. One inconvenience and they fold. But not the 1%. The 1% are steel inside. Because they train for this. They expect the war, and they win it daily. How? They eliminate choice. They don't negotiate with weakness. They don't wait to feel ready. They move anyway. They move when it hurts. They move when it's boring. They move when it's hard. That's what makes them different. Discipline isn't a moment. It's a system of war you install in your life. Here's what separates the 1% from everyone else. They think differently. They choose differently. They don't chase motivation. They manufacture it through motion. They don't depend on feelings. They live by principles. They don't identify with their past. They create from their future self. The 99% mindset is rooted in reaction, in victimhood, in softness. They say things like, I'm just not feeling it today. I'll start Monday. I need more time. They treat life like it owes them something. They wait for conditions to be perfect. They think struggle is a signal to stop. And that mindset, it breeds mediocrity. It rewards nothing. It kills potential. But the 1%, they flip the script. They move through pain because they know pain is proof they're alive. They move through boredom because mastery is born in repetition. They move through fear because fear is the compass toward power. They don't need a reason to show up. They are the reason. So what about you? Are you still operating on a 99% mindset? Still blaming? Still hesitating? Still consuming and calling it action? Or have you finally had enough? Because there's a moment when you get sick of yourself. Not in shame, but in realization. You see the games you've been playing. You see the lies you've been telling. And in that moment, you either go numb or you go nuclear. You either check out or you choose a new identity. That's what this is really about. Identity. Because behavior follows belief. And if you still believe you're weak, you'll keep acting weak. If you still believe you're broken, you'll keep living broken. But if you wake up today and decide, I am not that man anymore, everything changes. And make no mistake, it is a decision. Not a discovery, not a personality trait, a choice. The 1% didn't find themselves. They built themselves. And that building begins with brutal honesty and ruthless action. Let's be clear. You don't rise by tactics. You rise by identity. Because you don't do what you want. You do what you believe you are. This is why motivation fades. This is why books and videos don't change lives. Not until your internal identity gets rewritten. The 99% chase habits without rewriting the man. They try to act like winners while still thinking like victims. It doesn't work. Your habits are loyal to your self-image. You can't outperform the way you see yourself. You think you need a new schedule. What you really need is a funeral. A funeral for the old you. The one who hesitated. The one who justified laziness. The one who needed praise, permission, pity. Kill that version. Bury him. Because as long as you carry his memory, you'll sabotage your evolution. You need to wake up every morning and say, that version of me no longer exists. Say it until it feels true. Say it until your actions confirm it. Say it until the world has no choice but to recognize the new standard. You don't need more hacks. You need a new code. And that code is built one decision at a time. Train when you don't want to. Speak when your voice shakes. Do it when nobody's clapping. This is how you etch new beliefs into your identity. By doing what the old you avoided. Every action is a vote for who you are becoming. So ask yourself, who are you casting votes for today? You want peace? Then stop worshiping your feelings. You want power? Then stop asking your emotions for permission. The 99% are emotional prisoners. One bad day and they spiral. One rude comment and they lose focus. One fear and they retreat into comfort. But emotions are not the enemy. Attachment to emotions is. You feel tired. So what? You feel scared. So what? You feel overwhelmed. Good. Those feelings mean nothing without action. Detach. Don't numb. Detach. See the emotion, feel it, and move anyway. That's real strength. That's command. You will never be consistent if you are emotional. You will never be elite if you are reactive. The 1% train their nervous system. They meditate in silence. They build stillness like a weapon. They breathe through chaos because they understand. The man who controls his emotions controls the game. So what if they doubt you? So what if you fail? So what if you're scared? None of that matters. All that matters is, what are you doing now? If you want to ascend, you must stop being at the mercy of every mood. This is where average ends and real power begins. Nothing replaces action. Nothing. You can journal all day, visualize all night, read every book on the shelf. But if you're not executing, you're dying with knowledge. The 99% are experts in theory. They sound smart. They make plans. They imagine possibilities. But they don't move. Because moving is risky. Movement exposes weakness. Movement requires failure. And the 99% fear failure more than regret. So they stay in planning mode, forever stuck in almost. But the 1%? They live in motion. They move fast. They iterate fast. They learn by doing. They don't need things to be perfect. They just need momentum. You don't need more clarity. You need more courage. The moment you take one step, you gain information. You gain confidence. You gain leverage. Execution is how you change your brain. It's how you rewire the belief system. Every time you follow through, you prove to yourself that you're not who you were. You burn the old story. You become undeniable. So stop delaying. Stop tweaking the plan. Stop pretending you need more time. Act. Now, one task, one rep, one uncomfortable conversation. Build your day around high-leverage actions. Not distractions, not noise, not tasks that feel productive but change nothing. Execute like a soldier on mission, with urgency, with clarity, with complete detachment from outcome. Because once you fall in love with execution, you stop waiting for life to cooperate. You make life submit to you. You've been given the truth. Now comes the test. Because the truth means nothing. Until it costs you something. The difference between the 1% and the 99%? The 1% act on truth. The 99% admire it. The 99% say, "That was powerful. That really hit me. I needed that." Then they change nothing. They go right back to their addictions, right back to their comfort, right back to their patterns. They think feeling inspired is the same as transformation. It's not. That feeling will fade in minutes. But your decision, that can last forever. The 1% don't care about inspiration. They care about who they are becoming. They use truth like a sword. They cut away weakness. They cut away lies. They cut away everything that no longer serves them. And they do it with fire in their chest. Because they know. This is war. You don't get to wait. You don't get to coast. You don't get to dabble. This is all in or nothing. You rise or you rot. You decide or you decay. So here it is, laid bare. You're either in the process of becoming unstoppable, or you're in the process of becoming irrelevant. There is no neutral. There is no pause. There is no, "I'll come back to this later." You're being shaped, right now, by what you tolerate, by what you do when it's hard, by what you say when you're tired, by how you respond when no one's watching. Your identity is being carved in private, and the world will meet it in public. You don't need more time. You need more truth. You're not working on it. You're avoiding it. You're not confused. You're scared. You're not waiting for clarity. You're waiting for it to get easy. But that moment will never come. You're hoping there's a way to succeed without pressure. There isn't. You're hoping to find success without sacrifice. There won't be. Everything you want, peace, power, freedom, self-respect. It sits behind decisions that are brutally hard to make. Decisions that require you to let go of your old life, to offend your past, to outgrow your surroundings, to wake up and become dangerous again, not to others, to your own mediocrity, to become the version of yourself that shows no mercy to excuses, no tolerance for hesitation, no space for weakness. Because when that version of you is in control, you become a force. You become a problem for your old life. You become a leader without needing a title, and everything changes. So now the only question left is this: who do you choose to be today? Not tomorrow, not next month, not when it feels better. Today. Will you fall back into emotion, or will you rise into command? Will you shrink to the identity you've outgrown? Or will you embody the man you were born to become? Will you settle for average again? Or will you finally burn that bridge? There is no later. There is no almost. There is no someday. There is now, and there is never. So choose. Decide. Commit. Move. Don't you dare leave this message unchanged. Don't be another person who heard truth and ran from it. You are the 1%. Act like it. Think like it. Live like it. Now,